Have you ever heard of giant drawings so massive you can only see them from an airplane? Deep in the desert plains of southern Peru lies one of the world's greatest enigmas, the Nazca Lines. These are not just any drawings. They are colossal geoglyphs, etched into the earth thousands of years ago. We're talking about an area stretching up to 750 square kilometers, filled with hundreds of perfectly straight lines, geometric shapes, and massive figures of animals like hummingbirds, monkeys, and even a whale. What makes them so baffling? From the ground, they look like nothing more than random shallow trenches and paths in the reddish-brown desert floor. It is only when you soar hundreds of feet into the air that the true scale and artistry of these creations become clear. This simple fact has puzzled scientists for decades. How did an ancient civilization, without the ability to fly, create such precise, large-scale images that they themselves could never fully see? The first known mention of these mysterious markings dates back to 1553, when a Spanish conquistador named Pedro Ciza de Leon stumbled upon them. But, limited to a ground-level view, he simply dismissed them as trail markers or ancient paths. For nearly 400 years, the Nazca Lines remained a local secret, hidden in plain sight. It wasn't until the 1940s that they truly captured the world's attention. An American historian, Paul Kosok, was flying over the area to study ancient irrigation systems. As his plane climbed, he looked down and saw an astonishing sight, the unmistakable figure of a giant bird. He immediately realized he had stumbled upon something far more profound. Kosok, along with German-born mathematician and archaeologist Maria Reiche, who would dedicate her life to studying and preserving these lines, became the pioneers of Nazca research. So, what exactly is a geoglyph? It's a large-scale design, typically longer than 4 meters, created on the surface of the ground. The Nazca people were masters of this art form. Their technique was surprisingly simple yet incredibly effective. They removed the reddish-brown, iron oxide-coated pebbles that cover the desert surface. This exposed the lighter-colored, sandy soil underneath, creating a stark contrast that forms the lines and figures. It's like drawing on a massive natural canvas. You might be wondering, how have these delicate etchings survived for thousands of years? The secret lies in the unique climate of the Nazca region. It's one of the driest places on Earth, with very little rain and wind. This incredibly stable arid environment has acted as a natural preservative, protecting the geoglyphs from erosion for centuries. Scientists believe these lines were created in 2 main phases. The earlier Paracas culture started creating some figures around 800 BCE, but the majority of the famous animal and geometric designs were made by the Nazca culture between 100 BCE and 800 CE. But the biggest question of all remains, why were they made? What purpose did they serve? This is where the mystery deepens and the theories begin. The earliest scientific explanation, proposed by Paul Kosok and Maria Reiche, was that the Nazca Lines were a giant astronomical calendar. They meticulously mapped the lines and discovered that some of them aligned perfectly with celestial events, like the position of the sun during the winter solstice. They believed the lines acted as pointers, helping the Nazca people track the sun, moon, and stars, perhaps for agricultural or religious purposes. It was, in their words, the largest astronomy book in the world. Another popular theory is that the lines were created for religious rituals. The huge animal figures, the monkey with its spiraling tail, the spider, the condor with its massive wingspan could have been sacred sites. The Nazca people may have walked along these lines in ceremonial processions, offering prayers to their gods in the sky and on the mountains. This makes sense when we consider their mythology, which, much like ancient Egypt's, often depicted deities in animal or hybrid animal-human forms. Given the extreme dryness of the region, it's also been suggested that these figures were elaborate offerings to the gods, a desperate plea for rain. A less supported idea is that the lines were related to water. Some have theorized that the long, straight lines might point to underground water sources or hidden oases. However, there's little physical evidence to back this up. The lines are just surface-level clearings. They aren't trenches or channels designed to carry water, which would require specific slopes and construction that simply aren't there. So while water was undeniably critical to their survival, the direct link to the lines as an irrigation map remains weak. Now let's talk about the theory that launched the Nazca Lines into global pop culture fame, the ancient astronauts theory. In 1969, Swiss author Erich von Däniken published his blockbuster book, Chariots of the Gods. He put forward a radical idea. The Nazca Lines were not made by humans alone, but with the help of extraterrestrial visitors. His most famous claim was that the long, ruler-straight lines that crisscrossed the desert were, in fact, landing strips for alien spacecraft. Von Däniken argued that the sheer size and precision of the glyphs were beyond the capabilities of the ancient Nazca people. How could they create images they couldn't see? His answer was simple: they had help from above. He pointed to figures like the so-called astronaut, a humanoid figure with a large, helmet-like head, as evidence of their encounters with otherworldly beings. He even suggested that some patterns might be star maps, showing the location of Earth from distant constellations like Orion's Belt, a pattern he linked to other ancient wonders like the pyramids of Giza and Teotihuacan. It's a fascinating and thrilling idea, but is there any truth to it? Well, not really. Skeptics, most notably researcher Joe Nickell, have effectively debunked the ancient alien hypothesis. Nickell and his team proved that the Nazca people could have created these massive figures using simple tools and techniques available to them at the time. By using wooden stakes, ropes, and a basic understanding of geometry, they were able to scale up small drawings into the gigantic figures we see today. They didn't need to see them from the air to create them. They just needed a plan and a grid system. The landing strips are also easily explained. They are simply lines, and their surface is not compacted or suitable for landing any kind of craft. The magic of Nazca isn't aliens. It's the ingenuity and vision of the ancient people who lived there. The story of the Nazca Lines is far from over. Even today, we are still discovering new secrets hidden in the desert. In a groundbreaking project, researchers from Japan's Yamagata University, led by Professor Masato Sakai, have been using modern technology to scan the region. And just this year, with the help of artificial intelligence, they announced the discovery of 303 new geoglyphs. These new finds add to a growing catalog that now includes over 800 figures in total. We have more than 300 straight lines, over 200 geometric shapes, about 70 animal figures, and a handful of humanoid images. Each new discovery adds another piece to this incredible puzzle. But as we uncover more of Nazca's past, we also face the urgent challenge of protecting its future. The Nazca Lines were declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site, but they are incredibly fragile. The region is under constant threat from both legal and illegal mining operations searching for gold and copper. There have been several heartbreaking incidents of damage. In 2014, a mining company left scars on the landscape during a survey. And in 2018, a truck driver foolishly drove his vehicle into the protected area, gouging tire tracks over 50 meters long across one of the ancient designs. These actions caused irreversible damage. Thankfully, after public and international pressure, the Peruvian government has taken steps to strengthen protections, but the fight to preserve this irreplaceable wonder is ongoing. From astronomical calendars and sacred pathways to alleged alien airports, the Nazca Lines continue to inspire awe and speculation. They are a timeless testament to the creativity, ambition, and mystery of an ancient culture. What do you think they were for? Let me know your theories in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this journey into the past, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more adventures into the world's greatest mysteries.